Hi everybody, let me not have the top of my head cut off. All right, today what I'm teaching you is how to make some really inexpensive garlic bread and to use up some of the bread that you have in your pantry that might be getting a little bit older and you're like, it's not so good for sandwich bread anymore, but you can make garlic toast with it. Yum! So what I have done, just have a sheet pan, and I took the bread that I want to use up, just plain old whatever bread. I have white bread. Get your butter out of the fridge, and you might want to have your butter setting out a little bit so it can soften up, because there's nothing worse than spreading your bread with hard butter and then you put holes in your bread. That's not what we're going for. So soften your butter up a little bit, get it out, let it sit out a little bit on your counter. So what I've already done is I have buttered both sides of my bread. So I will do one for you. I mean, how easy is that? So I have this slice of bread that I'm going to make sure that you cover it from corner to corner with your butter, because you want that to get all nice and browned and toasty. Then I'm going to flip it and I'm going to butter the other side. So I've done that already with all of my other pieces of bread, and I even did the ends, the crusts, because a lot of people don't use the crust, but it makes really good garlic toast. So I have done that. So all my pieces of bread have been buttered on both sides. And now I'm going to take some garlic salt and sprinkle some on each piece of bread. I'm only going to put garlic salt on one side because it will be plenty of garlic. You don't want your hair to like go popping off your head. You don't want too much garlic. So I've done one side. Now I'm going to pop it in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to flip them. So I'll be back to show you that. Another quick tip. This is for a lunch, and I'm using up some leftover spaghetti. And what I'm doing with my leftover spaghetti is I've kind of mixed the sauce and the noodles, and now I've placed some cheese on top. I just did provolone cheese because that's what I had in the house. Swiss cheese is the best, but I didn't have any. So I'm just going to warm up this while I'm doing my garlic bread. And so now I have this lunch using up my leftover spaghetti that's been revamped with a little bit of cheese and this yummy, yummy garlic toast. So I'm going to put it in the oven, the garlic toast, for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to flip them. All right, it is time to take them out of the oven. It's been 10 minutes. So they're getting nice and cooked. I can flip them with my fingers quickly. Maybe not, because that's a little hot. You can see they're nice and brown. And that's exactly what you want. So now I'm going to put them back in the oven for 8 more minutes. They'll be done, maybe a little bit less. The garlic bread is out of the oven. It only took like 6 minutes, and it is nice and crispy and ready to go. It got a little bit crispier than I wanted to, so that second time when you put it in there, just keep your eyes on it. It could be maybe 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on your oven and how it does things. Now, what I like to do is you can cut them into like breadcrumbs, but what I do is I cut them into long pieces like this. And I do that because this is something that my great Aunt Jo used to make, this garlic toast. And she would bring it to all the gatherings, and everybody loved it. So she would cut it into long, thin strips, and that's what I do. So I've got my bread, toasty goodness, ready for eating, snacking, or eating with the spaghetti that just also came out of the oven. And there you have it, guys. Quick garlic toast, nice and crunchy. Here I have a small piece. You can see it's nice and crispy. One side's a little bit darker than the other side. Let's taste it. Can you hear that crunch? So good. Crispy, garlicky. Good to eat with my spaghetti. That. Cheese got all melty. This is a perfect lunch. Leftover spaghetti. Use up the old bread that you have. This is magnifique. Try it out.